Good day, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're all doing well, and I hope that you are ready to watch this recorded lesson. No? So, pasensya na kung recorded lesson lang ito. May gagawin pa kasi ako, so that's why ito na lang yung ginawa ko para kahit paano, no? Hindi tayo ma-left behind sa topic na dapat natin i-cover. Okay? So, yan. So, I hope you're ready. I hope you are in a place na comfortable kayo, and then you have your notebook and your ball pen para makasunod kayo. Okay? Sige. So, before that, no, I have here an infographic. No? Let's observe the infographic that shows the result from Pulse Asia Survey 2025 regarding the senatorial preferences of our Filipino, no? Of the Filipino people. Okay? So, ayan. So, according to the latest Pulse Asia, no, ito daw yung result kung ano yung preferences ng mga Filipino sa magiging senador or mga magiging bagong senador natin, no? So, yan. So, it was conducted daw from January 18 to 25, 2025. And according dito sa result, so, yan siya. So, tingin ninyo, what can you observe or what can you conclude or infer sa ating infographic? Okay, so sayang, no? Dapat maganda kung face-to-face ito siya, no, para marinig ko yung inyong mga opinion. Pero regarding this one, no, ayan siya. Erwin Tulfo yung nangunguna sa preferences, no, ng mga Pilipino. Followed by Bongo, Tito Soto, si Lamben, no? Ayan. And then pinaka-last dito ay si Lito Lapid. Okay? Sige, another question is, sa tingin niyo, paano kaya nila na-conduct no, yung ganitong paano yung Pulse Asia, how did they come up with this data? So, tingin nyo, lahat ba ng mga Filipino kanilang na-interview for this one? Or lahat ba ng mga Filipino is na-survey nila kung sino yung preferred nila na magiging bagong senador? Feasible ba if lahat ng Pilipino ang kanilang i-interview and then tingnan nyo, no, within the span of 1 week lang ating kasi 18 to 25, no, kinandak nila ito. Feasible ba kaya? Sige. So, probably no, feasible, pero siguro, ayan, medyo time-consuming siya and also, maki yung magagasto nila. Okay? And then another one, no? Suppose your school also need to conduct an election for new set of schools officers and possible candidates are now known. You as a school journalist wanted to know the pulse of your fellow students, and then suppose the school has a total of 3,000 students. Okay. Sa tingin niyo, let's say for 5 days lang, feasible ba? Makaya nyo ba na i-interview lahat ng 3,000 students and then after that you will analyze the data and then dapat meron agad kayong result? Kaya ba yan siya? Feasible ba? So probably hindi din, no? So that's why in statistics, no, na-introduce yung concept ng population at saka sample. Okay? So I believe, no, familiar na kayo dito. Pero let's distinguish muna, no, ano kaibahan ng dalawa. So when we talk about population, it includes all of its elements from a set of data. So meaning to say daw, if we have a particular place, no, or location na kung saan gusto natin mag-conduct ng research, so, kung sino yung mga naninirahan doon, okay, kung sino naman daw yung mga taong nandoon na, lahat daw sila is i-survey natin or kukunan natin ng data. Okay? And take note, no, sa research, hindi lang naman agad, or hindi naman talaga about sa tao lang yung maaari natin kunan ng data. Pwede ding mga specimen, no? Like sa kapag mag-conduct tayo ng experiment. So, basta population, the entire or all of the elements or all of the people, no? Yan yung ating kunan ng data. While si sample naman, on the other hand, is a subset taken from a population. It is a representation of the population, okay? So, kumbaga, we are drawing a conclusion, no? Or nag-hope tayo na kung ano man daw yung result or ano man yung possible outcome or result na maaari natin makuha from the sample, it will also represent, no, the entire population. So that's why subset na siya, no? Small portion na siya ng population natin. Okay? So going back doon sa kanina, dito, so possible na sample lang yung kanilang mga kinuha, no? Or just a subset lang ng population yung kinuna nila ng data para makakome up sila ng ganitong result. Okay? Pero paano yun siya nangyayari? Paano natin to ginagawa, itong pagpili ng sample natin? Ano yung maaari nating process? Kasi hindi naman pwede na kung sino yung nandyan, no? Siya yun kunin mo agad na respondent mo kasi ang dating niyan is very biased, no? So that's why na-introduce, no, in statistics yung tinatawag natin na random sampling. Okay? So, let me present to you our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, at least 80% of the students should be able to define terms related to random sampling, illustrate random sampling, identify different random sampling techniques, and explain the importance of random sampling in real life. Okay? So, yan siya. So, as I have said earlier, hindi naman pwede kung sino yung nandyan nakita mo agad, siya yun yung kunin mo as your respondents. Okay? There's a different methods, okay, para legit, valid, and genuine yung result, no, ng inyong study. Okay, para iwas tayo sa bias. So that's why na-introduce yung sampling from a population or yung random sampling natin. Actually, no, sa sampling method natin or sampling frame, there are different process, no, or two classifications. We have the probability sampling and then the non-probability sampling. Okay? So, in this session, no, yung focus lang natin is about the probability sampling. Now, what is probability sampling? So, ibig sabihin nun, no, lahat daw ng mga elements from the given data set, no, has an equal chance or has an equal opportunity to be chosen as your respondents or as your sample. Okay? Pantay-pantay silang lahat, no, na maaaring mapili sila as your participative participant or respondent, no, or your sample. Okay? So, dito sa sampling population natin, no, or yung sampling methods natin, we have 4 types of random sampling there. So, first is the simple random sampling. So, simple random sampling technique is the most basic random sampling wherein each element in the population has an equal probability of being selected. Okay? So, ito yung pinaka-basic, no, na random sampling method na pwede natin gawin to get our sample. So, ano ba? Paano natin to ginagawa, itong simple random sampling? So, pwedeng mag-lottery method tayo or yung fishbowl method. So, parang ganito siya, no? Let's say, meron tayo dyan, mga numbers or meron tayong mga marbles, no? And then each marbles are meron corresponding numbers. So, ilagay natin lahat ng mga marbles na ito sa isang hat. And then, magbubunot tayo. Okay? So, magbubunot tayo hanggang sa makumpleto natin yung kailangan natin sample. So, para lang din yan siya sa Hunger Games, no? I think familiar ka nito, right? So, ayan siya. So, para siya sa Hunger Games. Sa District 12, no? Actually, di ba, merong different districts sa Hunger Games. So, yung focus ng movie natin is sa District 12. And then, lahat ng mga tao, no? Lahat ng mga names ng mga tao is inilagay sa, or isinulat sa isang papel, and then finold, and then inilagay dito sa malaking bowl. So, as you can see, no, sa ating gift dyan, no? And then, with that, no, lahat ng mga names is nandiyan na sa bowl na yan, and then, magpipick na sila ngayon. Okay? So, randomly. And then, simple lang siya, no? Kasi simple lang siya na method. Okay? So, you will randomly select your samples by, let's say, itong lottery method or fishbowl method. Okay? So, pwede din, no, pwede din gawin natin dito sa simple random sampling, okay, is, let's say, you know, alam mo kung sino yung mga tao, let's say, tao yung i-survey mo, no? And then, let's say, sa isang class lang yan siya. Sa isang class lang yung pinili mo or sa isang klase lang ka mag-conduct o survey or magkuha og sample. And then, all their names, no, is ililist mo sa isang paper or pwede ding sa Excel. And then, dapat yung mga names na yon is merong corresponding numbers. Okay? So, using random number generator, pwedeng si Excel, pwede din yung online tools, no, na kung saan you will use that para mag-generate siya og number. Okay, so let's say, ang na-generate ng number is 5. So, sino yung number 5 sa listahan? So let's say yung number 5 sa listahan is si Protasio. So, meaning to say, siya yung isa sa magiging sample mo. And then, mag-generate ka naman ulit ng number. Let's say, ang na-generate na number is 10. So, kung sino yung number 10 sa listahan, okay? So, let's say, yung number 10 sa listahan is si Maria. So, si Maria yung pipiliin mo na sample. Or kukunin mo na sample. Okay? Hanggang sa mabuo mo yung kailangan mo na sample. Okay? So, that's why simple random sampling siya, no? Kasi most basic siya. And then, pwedeng mag-generate ka lang ng number. Or pwede ding gawin mo yung lottery method, no? Or fishbowl method. Like this one. Okay? So, yan siya. So, klaro ba? So, I hope klaro siya, no? If you have any question, you can leave your comments here. Or you can message me, no? Or you can ask me kapag magkita tayo. Okay? Sige, now, the second type of random sampling natin dito ay si systematic sampling. Anong kaibahan ng simple random sampling kay systematic sampling? So, systematic sampling, no? Or systematic random sampling is a random sampling that uses a list of all the elements in the population, and then elements are being selected based on the kth consistent intervals. So, ito yung kailangan natin matandaan ito, no? Or, ito yung distinct feature ni systematic sampling natin. Yung mga elements daw natin are being selected based on the kth consistent intervals. So, ano tong kth? Kth meaning to say, yan yung interval, no? Ng bawat person from the starting point mo. Okay? So, kumbaga, let's say, every second person, every third person, every fourth person. So, those are the kth consistent intervals natin. Now, dito sa kth consistent intervals, no, si k natin dito, pwede natin yan siyang isolve using the formula na k is equal to capital letter N divided by small letter n. Take note, si capital letter N, no, ito yung population size. Meaning to say, ilan lahat sila sa area na iyan or sa isang location na yan kung saan ka mag-conduct ng survey mo or magkuha ng sample mo. Okay? The entire, ilan silang lahat. Okay? And then, itong N naman na small letter, no, is yung ilan yung needed mo na sample. Okay? So, for example, proceed tayo dito sa illustration na meron tayo dito. So, let's say, alam mo na 9 silang lahat sa place na yan, no? Yung total population nila is 9. Okay? And then, each person is kailangan i-assign mo sila ng number. So, for example, dito siya, person 1 na ito, number 1 siya. Person 2 na ito is number 2 siya. Si 3 hanggang kay 9. Okay? So, the same siya kay simple random sampling, no? Na dapat nandyan yung list of names ng mga population or ng mga participants mo, and then meron kang i-assign na number to them. Okay? And then, yung kaibahan lang is dito, no? After mo ma-assign ng number yung mga persons na iyan, okay? And then, kailangan alamin mo kung ano yung K mo. Okay? Yung kth interval mo. So, let's say 9, and then 3 lang yung kailangan mo na sample. So, here, to solve for our K, so, 9 yung entire population nila, divided by 3 yung kailangan mo. So, meaning to say, 3 yung interval. So, 3 yung interval ng from the starting point up to the next person. Okay? Now, paano mo malaman yung starting point mo ngayon? So, pwedeng sa separate piece of paper or using a number generator, you will randomly or you will generate a number, no? Let's say from 1 to 9. And then, ang na-generate mo na number is 3. Or kapag magbunot ka, no, ng number, let's say 3 din yung nabunot mo. So, meaning to say, yung 3 na yan, no, that will be your starting point. Okay? So, siya yung starting point mo. So, yung starting point mo, that will be your first person or first sample. And then, since 3 yung ating interval, no, so from starting point, jump tayo 3 beses. Okay? Hanggang sa makuha mo yung second sample mo. So, that's why dito, yung magiging second sample natin, no, ay itong si number 6. Okay? So, from your starting point, since 3 yung interval, we will just jump 3 times, no? So, 1, 2, 3. And then, yung ikatulo, okay, ika-third person, siya yung sample mo. So, siya yung second sample mo. And then, another one, another jump. Ayan siya, no? So, 3 din. So, si number 9 yung maaari mong another sample. Okay? So, what if 2 yung na-generate mo na number or 2 yung napili mo na number? So, syempre, si number 2 yung pipiliin mo. Now, ano yung sunod? Since K natin is 3, so from 2, we will just jump 3 times. So, 1, 2, 3. So, ika-5. So, si number 5 yung pipiliin mo as your second sample. And then from 5, jump ka na naman ng 3 beses para si number 8 naman yung pipiliin mo as your sample. Okay? Merong system kay systematic random sampling. Okay? So, kailangan alam mo muna yung nakalist lahat ng mga names of that person. And then, merong nakaka-assign na number sa kanila. And then, alamin mo muna ano yung interval mo. So, using yung formula natin na K is equal to population size divided by sample size. Okay? After mo ma-determine ano yung K mo, o yung interval mo, kailangan mag-randomly pick ka or mag-generate ka ng number para doon yung iyong starting point. So, kapag alam mo na yung starting point mo, no, gagamitin mo na ngayon yung K or yung interval natin hanggang sa makumpleto mo yung sample na ninid mo. Okay? So, ganun si systematic random sampling, ha? So, if you have any question or clarification, just tell me. Sige. So, parang ganito din siya, no? Let's say mag-start, ayan, meron kang starting point. Okay? And then, ano kaya yung interval nila dito? So, tingin ninyo. Let me erase this one muna, be. Okay, kaya masyado siyang distracting. So, tingin nyo, ano yung kanyang interval? If meron tayong starting point na dito, ayan. And then, yung next daw is this one. So, possible, ang kanilang interval is 3, no? So, 1, 2, 3. So, every third house. So, yan yung system natin, okay? Sige. Now, let's proceed to the third type of random sampling, which is stratified sampling. So, dito sa stratified sampling, no, first, no, it is a random sampling wherein the population is divided into different strata or divisions. The members of the population are grouped on the basis of their homogeneity. Okay, take note. I-divide daw, okay, divided into different strata or divisions yung population mo. And take note, dapat naka-group siya on the basis of their homogeneity. Meaning to say, dapat common, no? They share common characteristic or common traits. Okay? And then, sino magde-determine ng characteristic na yan or ng traits na yan? It's up to you as a researcher. Okay? So, yan. So, kumbaga, let's say, meron kang population, no? Siyempre, iba-iba yung gender dyan. Merong male at saka female. Let's say, focus na tayo sa dalawang gender. So, first natin gawin is to divide the group according sa gender. Okay? So, ayan. Okay, so ayan siya, no? So, first is kailangan natin i-divide according to, based sa kanyang homogeneity, yung common characteristic or common traits nila. Okay? So, after natin ma-divide, yun siya. So, let's say, i-divide mo yung population according to gender. So, meron kang group for the male and then meron kang group for the female. Okay? And then, with that, no, dapat, since kukuha ka ng sample, dapat proportion. Meaning to say, kung 10 yung kailangan mo na samples, so dapat proportion or equal yung representative from gender, from male at saka female. So, meaning to say, tigli 5. 5 male at saka 5 female yung maaari mong piliin as your sample. Okay? And take note, no, dito sa stratified sampling, hindi naturally occurring yung ating grupo dito. Okay? So, ikaw mismo yung magsiset dyan. Now, let's proceed to the fourth type of random sampling, which is this cluster sampling, or also known as the area sampling. Now, dito siya, no, i-group mo din yung population mo into clusters or groups, no, or strata din. Pero, ang kaibahan lang, heterogeneous group. Meaning to say, no, iba siya dito sa stratified sampling na they share common characteristic like male and female. Dito sa cluster sampling, no, it is applied on a geographical basis. Okay? So, meaning to say, pwede siyang naturally occurring na group. And dito, since naturally occurring group siya, halo-halo yung mga personalities or gender ng mga tao dito, no? So, ayan siya. So, parang example, ano ba yung mga naturally occurring group natin? Ano ba itong mga geographical basis na ginamit natin dito? So, let's say, yung mga barangays, no? That is a cluster. Pwede ding barangay purok. Okay? Or pwede ding provinces, pwede ding city. Okay? So, yan siya, no? Yan ang ibig sabihin ng cluster sampling. So, dito sa cluster sampling, no, usually, mag-start tayo sa general or malaki scope na population or place. And then, pupunta tayo, pababa tayo, no? So, lower level. So, kumbaga, from province, sa province, merong cities, then sa cities, merong barangay, then sa barangay, merong mga bawat puroks dyan. Right? So, ganun siya. Ganun yung process natin sa cluster sampling. And then, take note, stratified sampling, homogeneous yung group natin dito. Sa cluster sampling naman is heterogeneous group. Okay? So, after mo daw makapili ng clusters, saka ka mag-randomly pick using lottery method kung sino yung maaaring mga samples mo. Okay? So, yan siya. So, all in all, no, we have 4 types of random sampling. First, we have the simple random sampling, then the systematic random sampling, stratified random sampling, and the cluster sampling or area sampling. Okay? So, I hope nakuha yan siya, no, and then naintindihan. So, if you have any question, please leave down a comment na lang. Okay? Sige, let's try to answer this one. No? Analyze the given situation below. Choose the letter for the best answer. So, number 1, it refers to the entire group that is under study or investigation. Is it A, population, B, random sampling, C, sample, D, subset? So, tingin ninyo. Okay, entire group daw. So, we need to say that is population. Sige, number 2, it is a subset taken from a population either by random or non-random sampling techniques. A, population, B, random sampling, C, sample, or D, lottery sampling. Okay, ano yung clue natin dito? Okay, that is subset, no? So, kapag subset, that is just a sample. Number 3, what sampling technique in which members of the population are listed and samples are selected in intervals called sample intervals? A, systematic sampling, B, stratified random sampling, C, lottery sampling, or D, quota sampling. Okay, anong clue natin? Samples are selected in intervals. Kung mayroong intervals, that is systematic sampling. Now, fourth one, it is sometimes called area sampling. It applies in a geographical places. A, systematic sampling, B, stratified random sampling, C, lottery sampling, or D, cluster sampling. Okay, kapag may geographical basis, that is cluster sampling. Okay, sige, last question. It refers to a part of the sampling technique where each sample point has an equal chance of being selected. A, systematic sampling, B, simple random sampling, C, purposive sampling, or D, quota sampling. Okay. Each sample point has equal chance. So, that is, okay, very good. Thank you. So, that's it, everyone. So, I hope you have learned something. So, if you have any question, just feel free to comment down below, okay? So, yan siya. So, see you next meeting. Ingat kayo always and God bless.